are praised for ambition. Mothers are punished for it. And yet, if we step back from ambition, we're told we're wasting our potential. This is the ambition double bind. And for ambitious moms, it can feel like there's no way to win. And it's maybe another reason why the treadwife trend I talked about in the last episode seems so appealing. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Katrina, and in today's episode, we're diving into something that so many ambitious mothers feel but are only slowly starting to say out loud. The fact that no matter what we do, we're criticized. Too driven, we're selfish. Not driven enough, we're lazy or wasting our talents, our qualifications and education. This constant judgment is exhausting. And it doesn't just live in our minds, it shows up in our bodies too. Let's call it what it is, a cultural trap. Men are encouraged, even applauded for being ambitious. Their career success is rarely questioned. Mothers, on the other hand, are expected to calibrate every step of their ambition around the needs of everyone else. Children, partners, colleagues. If you prioritize work, you risk being labeled a bad mom. If you prioritize family, you're dismissed as not serious about your career. Dad takes the kids to the park, he's a keeper. Mom does the same. Suddenly her snacks aren't healthy enough, the kid is too big for the stroller, or she didn't tidy herself up enough. And so many of us are caught in the middle, feeling torn, second-guessing ourselves, and believing that no choice is ever good enough. But here's where it gets even more complicated. These unbearably high standards seep into our relationships too. Often we as mothers pass that internalized pressure on to our partners. What started as society's expectations for us becomes the lens through which we judge them. From the outside, fathers are showered with approval. Take the kids out for a walk and you're dad of the year. But behind closed doors, many fathers hear from us that they're not doing it right. And to them, it feels like constant criticism. Since they don't live with the same impossible expectations, the feedback stings more deeply. Some men retreat, some disengage, and while yes, weaponized incompetence exists, for many it begins as an escape from standards that were never theirs to carry in the first place. And neither ours, by the way. Neither ours, okay? That is really important. Because these standards are too much. But where does that leave us as couples? One partner is stretched thin by contradictions and passes the tension on. The other is unprepared for that ambiguity and pulls away. The result? Distance, frustration, and often resentment, when what we actually crave is partnership. So what can we do about this? We can't change society overnight, but we can start by naming the pressures out loud in our marriages, in our friendships, in our workplaces. We can let our partners know that much of what they experience as criticism is actually our way of coping with the impossible standards. And we can remind each other, we are not enemies. We are both navigating different challenges, and we need to keep returning to that common goal of connection and shared responsibility. And here's where body awareness becomes so powerful. Because when arguments get heated or expectations feel crushing, your body will tell you before your mind does. So pause for a moment. Where do you feel this double bind in your body? How does it feel when no matter what you do, you're being judged? How does it feel when your partner takes on a task but doesn't do it the way you would have? Maybe it's a tightness in your chest, like a weight pressing down. Maybe your jaw clenches when you think about the conflicting expectations. Maybe your stomach knots at the thought of missing a bedtime or a meeting. Maybe your neck and shoulders tense as if they're carrying everyone else's load. Maybe it's a deep sadness in your heart or belly. These sensations are signals. They're your body's way of saying, this is too much. This is unfair. This isn't alignment. Living in this constant contradiction drains our energy. It traps us in guilt cycles. Guilty when we work, guilty when we rest, guilty when we dream big, guilty when we slow down, guilty when we criticize our partner for a chore done wrong. The cultural message is clear. Ambition is not allowed to belong fully to mothers. And yet the truth is that ambition is not selfish. It's an expression of your potential, your creativity, your desire to contribute and be a full human beyond your role as a mother and a wife and a sister or a colleague. Ambition is deeply human, and yet it can look different for each of us. Here's a small practice you can try the next time you feel this double bind in your body. Place a hand on the area where you feel the tension, maybe your chest, your stomach, or your shoulders. Breathe into that space and name what's there. For example, this is the pressure to be everything to everyone. With an exhale, tell your body, I see you. You are not wrong for wanting both family and ambition. You're exactly who you are meant to be. Or better yet, say, I am exactly who I am meant to be. Or if you don't feel that you are there yet, you could just say, I'm becoming exactly who I am meant to be. This practice won't make society's expectations disappear, but it can soften the tension and help you regulate, even mid-argument, with a little bit of practice. So the more you practice it, the more you can return to calm communication. And of course, this is not one-sided. Your partner needs to show the same willingness to engage and to see you too. When that willingness is missing entirely, when blame and dismissal are constant, that's a red flag. And empathy alone, from your side, won't fix it. But let's return to ambition. Imagine if we stop buying into the myth that mothers can't win. Imagine if ambition and motherhood weren't at odds, but could coexist in a way that enriches both. Because ambition doesn't only belong to the boardroom. It can also mean creating a meaningful family life, raising children with values, or driving change in your community. Your ambition can take many forms. And the more you reconnect with your body, the more you'll notice which ambitions are truly yours and which are just imposed expectations that you have internalized over the years. And yes, to live your ambition professionally, you need a partner who sees you as an equal. Someone who doesn't assume you'll always pick up the extra load, but who wants to share both the joys and the responsibilities. The more couples find that balance, the more we can create change beyond our own homes, for our own sake and for the sake of our children. So here's the truth. There will always be people ready to judge. Too ambitious, not ambitious enough. But you don't have to let their voices settle into your mind and body as truth. Instead, come back to yourself. Feel where that tension lives, breathe into it, and remember, your ambition isn't selfish. It's yours. And this is why the conversation about relationship belongs in an episode about ambition. Because we can only live our professional ambition fully if we also live equality at home. We need to know that our partner has our back in family life as much as we have his. Without that shared responsibility, mothers remain trapped in the double bind, constantly torn between home and career. I also want to be very clear here. Weaponized incompetence is real and it is toxic. If that's your situation, you are not imagining it and it's not yours to fix alone. What I've shared today speaks more to the gray zone, where some of this behavior can come from overwhelm or from the privilege of lower expectations placed on men when it comes to household chores and care work. But none of this invalidates your lived reality. You deserve partnership that feels like partnership. And that brings me to you, the listener, because these patterns aren't abstract. They're lived in your daily life and relationships. And sometimes they are worse, sometimes they are better. There is no black and white here. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Send me a message or share this with another ambitious mom who needs to know she's not alone. You might even want to share it with your partner so he can better understand your perspective and also see that you recognize how this double bind affects him too. It's a conversation starter, not just a personal reflection. And if you want to go deeper into these practices, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time, more you, not more to do.